Well, hello there. Thank you for stopping by. So I'm going to do something today. This is my competition build for an AR-15. I'm going to run this primarily in PCSL. I've been running a PCC and handgun for most of it, but there's some shots out there that are starting to reach out a little bit, and I wanted to set up an AR. So this is my it's primarily a Daniel Defense gun. Most of the parts are. I have an MKM grip on here, which I love this grip. Nice and grippy, but it's got some palm swells in it that fill up my hand a little bit. I've got a Timney trigger in it. I have the Radian safety selector. The entire upper is Daniel Defense, and then this is an Anderson lower here. I've been working on this for a little while, just trying to get it dialed in exactly the way that I want it. And the next step for me, muzzle brake. I've been wanting to get a good muzzle brake on it, so I've got one today. We're going to compare the two. I'm going to shoot it with the muzzle brake that came on the Daniel Defense upper, and then we'll swap over to the Taran. I've got a Taran Tactical muzzle brake that we'll put on there, and we'll see how they two run side by side. So. Okay, factory, really a flash hider, but factory brake that's on there, and then we'll switch to the other. Here we go. Okay. All right, so obviously it's an AR-15. The recoil on this isn't crazy. But when you're looking at a target, I've got two C-zone targets set up out there at about 40, 45 yards. And the dot moves just off the target each time. So I'm having to take just a second to reacquire. It tends to be, it's probably me and just the inputs I'm putting on the gun, but for me, I was watching the dot closely, and the dot was moving to the right more than anything. So a little up and to the right seemed to be my recoil pattern there. But so I was having to mentally get back on target. We'll swap everything over to the Taran brake, and we'll see what that looks like on camera, and we'll see kind of what the difference is once I feel them. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Got the Taran muzzle brake mounted on there now. This compensator should make a big difference. You can see it's got ports on the top, got lots of ports on the side. I can't imagine that doesn't impact how this thing recoils. I'll run 30 rounds through it. Again, on the other one, I seem to be going up and to the right, so I'm going to run this one again and see how it goes. And here we are. Oh, you know what the other thing about this build that I should probably mention is I have the JP silent buffer, the silent captured buffer in here. And that does make a big difference when it comes to, I think to felt recoil, I feel a difference, but it's really just the mechanics coming past my ear and stuff when I'm shooting an AR that gets rid of. But it's got a different recoil pattern to it, so I'm curious to see how that pairs up with the compensator here. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. I don't know if you could see that on camera. That was significantly flatter. It wasn't moving to the right at all. My dot, it barely moved. Like I could do instant follow-up shots without having to wait for the dot to go because the dot didn't go anywhere. And so I could run kind of automatic follow-up shots just like I do with my PCC with my JP5. That's going to be a really pleasant. Now, it is the one thing I will say that's a downside to it. It is loud. I mean, the percussion off of that is significant, and I think the people on the range next to me might be a little bit annoyed by it, but I'll tell you, the shooting experience was absolutely fantastic. And you know, I looked at a lot of different compensators for this thing as far as competition goes, and I wanted something to keep me flat and on target. And there's a bunch of them out there that you start bumping up to that $200 range really quickly. And then there's some, you know, like cheap stuff that you can find that just didn't have great reviews. But I've had a lot of Taran stuff. I shoot a lot of competitions, so there's Taran stuff everywhere. So I saw this on the site and thought, you know, for less than $100, I've trusted them with other competition things. Why not this? So this is the shorter of the two comps. The other one, I think they've got one that's like just a little longer in case you got a shorter barrel and you're trying to pin and weld it to get it a little longer. But on this length, this was perfect, and I couldn't be happier with the result. That's going to work just great for me, and that I'm sure I'll tinker with it. But that kind of completes my competition build here. And I'm really excited to get back out on the range and shoot another match with this thing. So, all right, that's that. Guys, thank you for stopping by. Please be sure, like, subscribe. That helps a ton. Obviously, I'm a new channel. I'm starting to build up an audience and things, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'd love to keep that growing. And thank you again for stopping by. I appreciate you watching the video. And if you reached this point, just make sure you click that little bell and you get notified when I post other things. And we'll keep the content coming. Till next time, thanks again. We'll see you out on the range.